General Motors created one of the best compact all-aluminum V8s ever made, and then they put it in the wrong cars, driving the wrong wheels. This, my friends, is the LS4. For years, this engine has been the black sheep of the LS family, the one nobody wants at the family reunion. Why? A few critical and frankly bizarre design flaws. But what if I told you that with a few clever parts, you can fix GM's screw-up and build the mid-engine menace they didn't have the guts to make? Well, you're in luck, because I'm about to show you exactly how. So, what makes this engine such a headache? It's a 5.3-liter powerhouse that pushes out a legit 303 horsepower in a lightweight all-aluminum package. It came in front-wheel drive cars like the Chevy Impala SS and Pontiac Grand Prix GXP. And that's problem number one. It was built to sit sideways. Because of this, GM's engineers made some choices that'll make you scratch your head. First, the bell housing uses a weirdo metric bolt pattern you won't find on any other self-respecting RWD LS engine. That means your trusty T56 or 4 L60E won't just bolt up. Second, and this is the big one, the engine block has no place to mount a starter. Yeah, you heard me. The starter was bolted to the original front-wheel drive transmission. Finally, the packaging is a mess for swaps. The crankshaft flange is in a unique spot, and the accessory drive is super compact. For a long time, these issues made the LS4 a total pariah. Before we start fixing GM's mistakes, you need an engine. Your best bet is to find a 2006 to 2009 Chevy Impala SS or Pontiac Grand Prix GXP. Here's the pro tip. Buy the entire wrecked car or a complete pullout. And when you're at the junkyard, tell that dude with the wire cutters to take a coffee break. You need everything. The engine, the full uncut harness, the ECU, the gas pedal, and all the accessories. Getting an incomplete engine is the fastest way to turn your budget project into a financial nightmare. Aim for a lower mileage unit, as the active fuel management AFM system can cause issues on high mileage engines. All right, let's get to the fun part. That weird bell housing and starter problem? The aftermarket has our back. The biggest secret to this swap is the adapter plate. Companies now make specific plates that do two brilliant things. They adapt that funky metric bolt pattern to the standard GMRWD pattern, and most importantly, they have a spot to mount a starter. And just like that, the biggest headache is gone. Now, because the LS4's crank flange is in a different position, you'll also need a special flex plate or flywheel with a built-in spacer. This spacer closes the gap to the transmission, making sure everything lines up. With the right adapter plate and flex plate, you can now bolt up a tough, reliable transmission like a 4L60E and get this party started. Now that we've solved the transmission puzzle, the hardest part of this swap is officially over. If this guide is lighting a fire under your project car, do me a solid and smash that subscribe button so you don't miss what's next. With the engine and trans playing nice, the next challenges are getting it in the car and keeping it happy. For a mid-engine build, you'll be fabbing up custom engine and transmission mounts. You're a mad scientist, remember? Position the drivetrain out back, probably modify a subframe, and get that axle geometry dialed in. Next up, oiling. The stock oil pan is a big, clumsy thing that will almost never fit. Luckily, the aftermarket is full of low-profile LS swap pans that'll give you the ground clearance you need. While you're under there, do yourself a huge favor and install an AFM delete kit. The active fuel management system is a known weak point, and getting rid of it is cheap insurance for a happy, high-revving V8. Finally, the wiring. This is why you save that beautiful, uncut harness. You can send it to a standalone wiring service or buy a kit to thin out that spaghetti monster yourself, removing everything you don't need. The factory ECU will need a flash to delete the anti-theft system and get the tune dialed in for its new, much cooler life. So, is the LS4 really forbidden? Nah, it's just misunderstood. The bell housing is a pain, and the starter situation is a head-scratcher, but it's nothing a little ingenuity can't solve. With the right adapters from the community and a bit of fabrication, you can absolutely fix GM's oversight. You can take this cheap, lightweight V8 and stick it where it always belonged, right behind your head in a mid-engine monster. It's a tough swap, no doubt, but the result is a wicked, one-of-a-kind machine that'll have everyone asking, what is that thing? So, what car are you swapping an LS4 into? Drop your crazy ideas in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next build.